Hello and welcome everyone to the Crazy Angels music podcast. I am here with Pascal, Dennis, and David Logan. Hi guys.
Hello, my name is David Logan, and I'm a Crazy Angel. Sorry, I just thought I'd spice it up a bit this week.
It's good to see you guys. It's been a few weeks.
We had a hiatus for all those watching this podcast. We had a hiatus, a holiday for me, business trip for Pascal, and now we're back. So we might have a little extra sauce this week.
Good. Yeah, today we wanted to talk about album 3, which is called Shame on the Sun. Pascal, can you introduce us to the core theme of that album?
Album 3, Shame on the Sun, which we're going to talk about now, is coming to terms and developing a rapport with life and zooming out and seeing more of the world. And especially it's about the tragic comedy of life, the impossibility of making it a decision, for example, whatever path you choose, there's another life that's unlived. So it's funny and tragic at the same time. It's a combination of moon and sun colors. The song we're going to start with is in that vein. It's called Tricky Dick Forever. And it's about a guy who's having a relationship with a woman who's obsessed with Tricky Dick Nixon, the ex-US president who was disgraced in the Watergate scandal. She works at the Presidential Library in Yorba Linda, California, and she loves Latino dancing. And he loves her, so, whatever she says, he follows. So she's trying to convince him that Tricky Dick was really pretty good. He made peace with Russia, and he launched the EPA. And it's quite a funny song. The broader point is the division that we see in America now, and I'm an Americanophile. Let me declare up front. America accepted my family and my grandfather in 1920 and gave us a chance in life. So it pains me to see America so divided. And one of the chapters, or one of the verses, America's divided into unforgiven tribes. Open up your mouth and you risk a diatribe. They blow up every rumor and they got no sense of humor. I guess I hearken for a gentler kind of slime. So Tricky Dick was slime, but he was gentle and he colored within the lines. And I think he said famously, at 5 o'clock, we're all Americans. So even a kind of corrupt, shady guy like that had a sense of common good and could reach across the proverbial aisle and make, peace and friends with his political enemies. So it's a funny song. David captures the humor and the droll country storytelling vibe of it. And I'll pass the baton to David to describe.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll start the music.
The president did not go out in glory. When I met him, no one cared to hear his story. If he was on the gallows, I could not pull the lever. My sympathies reside with clemency and Tricky Dick forever.
As far as this arrangement is concerned, it's the usual suspects: Davide Sambrota on piano and Luca Camarota on guitars, and then me filling in the gaps and drums, bass, and other stuff. And I mean, I guess one of the things that always brings a smile to my face is I'm gonna go ahead and call it tradition now. Pascal and I have a tradition of with his lyrics, I do stuff in the arrangement. Pascal will do this kind of stuff where he'll say things like outer space, and I put an echo on it, and I just felt it still wasn't spacey enough.
It's from outer space.
that's nice, but what if we did this?
It's from outer space. I knew.
So not only do we have
great.
delays, but each one of them has a delay on top of the delay. So I'm also an artist, so for me, when I did this with his voice, I was like nervous. I was like, oh, what if he doesn't like it? What if he thinks it's too much? Well, what if he says take it out, And I'm like, all right, well then I'll just take it out. But I think everybody, every artist, every creative person always fears the worst. They always think, nobody's going to like it. They're going to tell me to take it out. They're going to tell me to change it. But here's the thing. Just do it. Go. Because look, the worst thing, and I really mean this, the worst thing in the world that can ever happen is they'll tell you they don't like it, take it out. And then what do? You take it out, you move on. You look for a better idea because look, I'm sure, 100% sure, George Martin would present ideas to the Beatles. Like, hey, what if we did this? And what if we did that? And George Martin took his influences he was a classically trained musician, right? So he took that and he put it in the Beatles, man. And look what we got.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a lot of great collaborations, if you look at like Rick Rubin in early hip hop, he had a major hand in the development of early hip hop, right? And such an unusual source, no? So Pascal and I, we've certainly, caught our stride, and we've developed a tradition of this fun arranging sort of like inside jokes. And now you guys are let in on the inside. Now, as far as the arrangement goes, it's just like a sort of droll country kind of vibe. We put a banjo, right? Put some pianos and some organs. And these three together, it's just kind of goofy, really kind of goofy, and like I like to double up piano sounds. So this is a technique that I've been doing for over 10 years now. When I kind of want to get that sort of honky tonk sound, what I do is I take two samples here. For anyone who's interested in how this kind of works. So one of them is this it's called the 1920s piano. And it's basically an upright piano from the 1920s that was recorded. Sounds like that. And I kind of detune it a little bit as well. The second piano is actually from a company called East West, and they made this library called Fab 4, which is, of course, recreating some of the very famous sounds of the Beatles. You put those two together, right? You just get a piano with just tons of character. You can hardly hear it, but if I mute it,
It's from.
you just feel like what happened, right? So the opening 4 bars basically sets up this whole feeling. The banjo, the organ, the out-of-tune piano, the guitars, the bass, the drums. It's like, hey, welcome to the song. Here's the vibe. And then
California on the
it all drops out.
Is elegance.
Everything drops out, and it's just very light guitar work, drums and bass, of course. And then we build our way back up, Yeah. This is sort of how we do the storytelling in the world of production. So that's basically it.
One of the many things I love about this track is the interplay between the vocal, the cheeky guitar, and then that out of tune piano. That cheeky, light feeling is just expressed in the arrangement. If I could say, as David was describing that, I remembered the difference between entertainment and art is that entertainers give you exactly what you want.
Precise.
But what we're trying to do is give you what you want, but then take it a little bit further and demand a little bit of our audience, because this is a droll country song, but it's 5 minutes long. It's about a disgraced former president. It's about this goofy relationship between a guy and a woman who works at the president's library. And she loves, Latino dancing in Georgia O'Keeffe. He loves her, so he's following along with the goofiness. And it's a commentary on contemporary America's divide. So that's a bit of a challenge for the audience, but we're trying to be just a little bit ahead of you and entertain you and challenge you in a good way. And hopefully that makes it a memorable song. And I'm happy to say, despite those challenges, we've had a lot of play. And we're going to release a radio cut for the upcoming US election. So you'll hear a lot more of this song, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. That is all ready to go. And it's so true, and just so people know, like there's nothing wrong with being an entertainer.
No.
Nothing wrong with giving the people what they want, But this is, I think, also the difference between an artist and an artisan, right? Artisans have a lot of great artistic merit, but they literally make things to be sold to the public, and they cater to the taste of the public. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but, and you could even be both to a certain degree. I mean, Michael Jackson is a great example of this, right? He's literally both an artist and an artisan. But you see, he gave the people what they wanted before they knew they wanted it. And that makes him a bit like Steve Jobs, in a way,
Yeah.
Like Steve Jobs famously quoted Henry Ford, "If I had asked the people what they wanted me to make, they would have said, make a faster horse." Right? So this is such a brilliant quote, right? Because at the time, people had horses and carriages. So if you do what the public wants you to do, build a faster horse, you never would have got the car. That simple, So just understand the difference.
Yeah. And we're trying to be just a little bit ahead of you all. So it's a bit of a challenge, one of our records, because there will be a droll country song, then a 1950s R&B, then a bossa nova, a pop song, then a big band jazz song. And we love all the genres, and, we're building an audience that's in tune with that and wants to be challenged just a little bit while laughing and enjoying the artistry and the goofiness that our band has so much fun with.
Still, even though you make so many genres, I feel like you still have a certain sound because of the production, because of the band, the mixing template that you use. It's still kind of the same sound aesthetic. So I think that's perfect.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well said. It's a wonderful arrangement, and it's beautifully played. I especially love the guitar and the piano back and forth.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, Luca and Davide are like, they're friends. They were former classmates that graduated a while ago, but and they've been collaborating for a while, and so they have a thing, like Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers, right?
This is my partner. He's not only my partner in music, but he's my partner in life. If it wasn't for him, I would not be here in Tokyo tonight. On funky bass, Bernard Edwards.
Legendary bass player and guitar player, and they just had this, there was this thing when they were on the stage and they were doing their thing, it was a thing. And very sadly, but maybe completely apropos, Nile Rodgers started the song off and he's doing the funky thing, and and Bernard is like, boom. He's like, boom. And then he's just like, and then like Bernard Edwards and Niall literally, like this is from an interview. He's like, yeah, I thought Bernard was like leaving some space to make it more funky, but he was having a heart attack.
Oh man, what a story.
on stage with your bandmate and partner, because they were just like so tight together. Wow. And what a way to go, man. I can't think of a better way.
Well, you and I are going to go via the extraterrestrial route. Yeah. We're going to keep doing this, folks, until the aliens come for us. Which, I mean, presumably they'll keep us, so they may throw us back. I don't know. But anyway, that's the deal.
I don't know yet. But so far, secretly, they've had a hand. Iggy, Spike, and Lester. They if you've watched previous podcasts, you know who they are.
It's the secret of our productivity. Levi, not a word, Levi.
Not a word. Don't worry, guys.